So I did see this yesterday. So Thomas Massey apparently just named the people in the files they were being redacted. Congress created the Department of Justice. Congress funds the Department of Justice. And Congress is responsible for the oversight of the Department of Justice. And you're in Congress. When will we see justice? But I'll tell you what I've not seen. I've not seen any arrests. From the revelation, true, it's embarrassing. The UK is chewing out on us. In the Epstein files, over 3 million documents describing horrible things, describing unspeakable things, much of it redacted. Over 2 dozen people have resigned, CEOs to members of government worldwide. Why would they do that? But I haven't seen any arrests or investigations here in the United States from this Department of Justice. Very interesting. Prince Andrew Duke of York has been arrested. Peter Mandelson, he's been arrested. Former Prime Minister of Norway has been charged. But we don't see any charges, arrests, or investigations in the United States. Who are the men that should be investigated? I'll name the right here. Beyond. Oh boy, here we go. I'll name the right here. Beyond Black. You only would have to see past the redactions. Guys was $13 billion. Between 2012 and 2017, gave Epstein roughly $150 million. And this was way after his initial convictions. Most mails are redacted, but there is one where Epstein directly mentions him while writing to Israel former Prime Minister Ehud Barak to see that this man needs to be investigated. Jess Staley, accused of terrible thing. Jess Staley, former CEO of Barclays and JP Morgan executive, was the executive primarily responsible for managing Epstein's accounts for years after the initial 2008 conviction, to exchange over 1,200 mails between them. Some of these with extremely cryptic language. When the full extent of their ties surfaced, Staley was forced to resign, and JP Morgan agreed to pay $290 million to settle a lawsuit brought by Epstein's victims after the U.S. bank ignored warning signs about its client during a 15-year relationship. It's right there in the file. Why is he not being investigated? And Wesley Webster, why the most powerful man, richest man in Ohio, gave so much of his wealth to the largest modern sex trafficking ring in American history? You would say like I'm providing financial advice to the family should Google. Why am I financial advice to Jeff Bezos? That's why would you sign your friend Wesley to someone you did not consider to be a friend of yours? I don't know. It's a mystery. Why did the FBI miss him as a co-conspirator and then tell him they had no questions for him? Where Epstein Files Transparency Act requires the DOJ to give both to us their internal memos and emails about how they made those decisions whether to prosecute or not prosecute, yet they have not delivered those memos. We still don't have the memos and documents and emails from 2008 to explain why Jeffrey Epstein was given the deal to White Yassens in what would have been an open and shut case. 20 years. That's stunning. Never before seen prosecution memo and draft indictment detailing the disturbing evidence they gathered against the financier. But that 60-count indictment never filed. Instead, Epstein landed the now infamous deal allowing him to plead guilty to lesser state prosecution charges, which allowed him to go back and recommit these terrible crimes. Exactly. 110 years after that, we need justice. We wanted a Department of Justice to get to work, and that's what they need to do now. So I think what you should do next, if you think these guys need to be investigated, you need to create documentation. Like, it sounds stupid, but I think you really should do this. Create a infographic that explain why each of these individuals needs to be investigated, and then the different connections with everything, right? Like that meme about the guy that's pointing on the fucking thing with like all the different connections. You need to get like your staffers or, like get somebody out there who's gonna be able to put that together. Yeah, like honestly, just like hit a coffee show, I'll probably do it for free. Fuck yeah, I mean, probably already halfway done anyway.